Well, hello friends. I know it's been a while since the last time I have posted a video, but as you probably all know, by this point, unless you live on another planet, we have been experiencing practically a shutdown of society thanks to the coronavirus. In my personal case, I've been home for 4 weeks now. Uh, I am very lucky that I've been getting paid while staying home. My kids have been home. Obviously, there's no school. My wife, there's no work because she's a school teacher. So the other thing that it's gone is football, is soccer. After Orlando City went away to Colorado, the league has been suspended. We just don't know what's gonna happen. So I am very fearful. Part of me is desperate to go back to normal life, to the ability of touching other people, going to places. I was talking to my wife of the fact that next Wednesday is the first night of Passover, which is a whole week observance that we have year after year, and this may be the first year ever that we're gonna stay home and do it as a family unit, meaning my wife and kids only. Every year we tend to go to our synagogue's Passover celebration, and we're there with. There's been years where we've been there with up to 500-600 people, and so it's this is the level of disruption that we've been living. On Saturdays, we attend services via Facebook Live. It's like I said, it has changed everything, and at this point, I really miss football. And it is something that I just don't know. I don't know how can I move on. My Twitter, my Facebook, everything, my Instagram, everything always revolves around sports. Not only Orlando City, but my English team, Stevenage, which is in League Two. My Israeli Premier League team, Maccabi Haifa. The Orlando Magic, the Orlando Seawolves, the Orlando Solar Bears, all these teams, the national team, etc. Everything revolves around my life, goes from event to event to event. And unfortunately, right now, we don't have anything that even resembles entertainment. The only thing that we can do is just relive past games. And like I said, it's a time, I think, if anything positive is going to come out of this situation, it's going to be that I think we're going to be more appreciative of one another, of the world that we live in. I've been watching a lot of Netflix, and to be honest, I watch different series related to football. Maradona in Mexico, the English Game are two of the ones that I have watched so far. Later on, tomorrow, Southern Until I Die. Second season of it's gonna come out. Really can't wait for that. I think the fans worldwide are learning to appreciate one another, because we all, either if we're rivals or in the same leagues, or we did not know the existence of the other, or if their club's existence has absolutely no bearing on ours. We all suffer from the same thing, which is not having football around. We're going to learn other clubs, other leagues. So at the end of the day, I think we're going to be better people. That saying that you don't know what you have until you lose it is very truthful, I think. In general, but I saw this list. Is coming from the English Lion. He's on Twitter and Facebook, and he came up with 10, 10 a list of 10 events that he considered super eventful in the existence of Orlando City. And he starts at number 10 with the signing of Nani. And I have to say that is super impactful. We really don't know how deep Nani's presence in our club is going to be, because obviously all we have is what happened last year. Wasn't enough to get us into playoffs. This year we haven't seen Nani yet. If you have been following the blog postings that I've been putting up, you guys can see my opinion on what I think of him based on the preseason games, my interaction with him at the open practice. And I think the best of Nani is yet to come. And as our captain, I really can't wait to see what 2020 brings to the table with the Portuguese. The ninth most important event, according to this list, is one that it surprised me because I completely had erased it from my memory, which is the friendly back in 2011 between Orlando City and Newcastle from the Premier League. Newcastle ended up fifth in the Premier League that year, and Orlando City defeated them 1-0. And I understand it was a scrimmage. It wasn't their full squad. It wasn't like full-blown middle of the season or anything like that, but it was important because those friendlies brought in new eyes. There's a lot of people in Orlando that follow English football at the top flight, and this was an opportunity to bring people to come see this new team that the city had. And there's a lot of fans that will always tell you, "Oh, I came because of this event, that event, or somebody invited me." So there's always that factor that brings people in, and this was the beginning of our team cultivating the cult following that excuse me, that he had in the early years. The eighth is the 2013 championship, and I have said this before, there will be no MLS without a championship in 2013, and there will be no championship in 2013 without Dom Dwyer. I've spoken about this before. A lot of people think of Dom Dwyer as the Dom Dwyer of the MLS era for Orlando City, but we owe a debt of gratitude to this man. When Dom Dwyer walks away from this club for the last time as a Lion, he's gonna leave so with my appreciation, my affection, and my respect, because he definitely brought in MLS by being here in 2013. Number 7 is the victory, 3-0 at Montreal. If you guys remember, this is the famous 26 touches before Wildman Will Johnson scored the header. I think this was probably one of the best executed goals ever in the history of Orlando City. Definitely top 10 in MLS, in my opinion. It was a performance where I really, truly believed that Orlando City could make it to the playoffs, and that James O'Connor was going to be our manager moving forward. But unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. It was a fantastic victory, and a moment that I think could tell us how good some of these players could be under the right conditions. Number 6 is the running of the wall. I was part of that. I remember the guys from Orlando Soccer Derby, which is a radio show local here in Orlando, saying that 10 years from now, 500,000 people will claim that they were there. and it was a fantastic moment. I think it's a moment that will always um, live in my memory. It was a very special moment for this fan base, that we're not going anywhere, and that we're here for the long haul, and I think we needed that. Number five, Kaká signing, and we have said this before, talked about this at nauseum. Kaká put this club on the map, the world map. Aside from that, I don't think that we never made playoffs. You could argue that Kaká never had a team of talented players to complement his skill set, but nonetheless, it was a very important moment for a man of his accomplishments to have come to Orlando, and for the fact that we got to see him play live. Number four is the first goal at Exploria. This is a goal that I actually missed. This was when the Exploria opened up in 2017. It was complete madness. I think there was very few gates open. By the time I made it to my seat, this goal had already happened. But it's very symbolic. Kyle Aaron bearing the ball. It was the only goal of the game. Orlando City wins. So far, it's the only win that we have ever had in home openers. And to me, I think that maybe with Kyle Aaron, once the emotions are detached and we get to go look back at how great this player was and how we mismanaged him, we pushed him out of the club, literally. He deserved more respect, in my opinion, and he just didn't get it here. Next is the first game at MLS. Obviously, going from 3, 4, 5,000 people in USL on a regular season game to 63,000. To be honest with you, it's amazing. But obviously, the talent, the names on the pitch definitely were what brought a lot of people to come in. I still think that those fans are there. We just have lost them by failing to live up to the expectations that everybody had that day in March of 2015. But definitely important. We definitely proved to people that Orlando City was not a fad. That, again, I keep repeating that we're not going anywhere. The next one is the Pulse tribute. Definitely a tragedy. I think I don't put too much stock on where the tragedy happened. It could have been a daycare, it could have been a church, it could have been a supermarket, it could have been anywhere. The fact that somebody came into our community and murdered people for whatever sick reason is something that I think a lot of people can't process, and they're trying to make sense out of it. Heck, this could have happened at an Orlando City game. You never know. I think I'm not a club person or anything like that, but those guys were there having a good time and enjoying with friends and family, being themselves, and that's how I feel at the stadium. How sad would it be that somebody will come in, if somebody came in and came into the space where I found myself the happiest and killed me, just because that was sad. And I think this community needed to rally together and say, no, in our community, nobody's gonna take our joy for life, for one another, for happiness. And lastly, is the announcement of Orlando City to MLS. I think that was 4 years of a fan base daring to dream their little third division club could get to MLS. A lot of people seriously doubted. A lot of people said that will never happen, but it did. I think 2020 is the year for us to maybe see some success and bring this to fruition. because we're running out of happy moments. We need to start lifting trophies. We need to start winning games. And the way to do that is to get to playoffs. So we'll see. I just don't know yet how this coronavirus situation is going to alter the the league, the playing field, everything. You know, it's gonna be something that we are yet to see. So I don't know when I will post again. At this moment, we just don't know when MLS will resume. The target for practicing again is May 15th. Probably looking at returning to the pitch either in May or June to resume the league. So we'll see. Perhaps it will happen very soon. Who knows? But thank you again for watching the blog. I'm actually doing this after midnight in my house because I've been busy and this is the only opportunity that I had. But thank you guys for following the blog. With nothing else, go City. And let's hope that football returns. And I hope that you and your family are staying healthy, that your work situation is good. I just found out that the job that I just left back in late February, my coworkers got laid off. So I'm actually very fortunate that I'm in a new company where that's not happening. So, you know, my heart goes out to them and to anybody that unfortunately finds themselves out of work. Hope everything is good for you guys. Some things are bigger than football. So, see you soon.